President Trump takes de facto control of the FCC and other independent federal agencies by executive order. Efforts to remove risky Chinese-made telecom equipment from the network will soon get more funding to complete the job. And a Puerto Rico LPTV station learns the hard way what life is like operating on Channel 14. All of that and more coming up.
REC, FCC Today, BG Bradley.
Bringing the Daily Digest to life, this is FCC Today, the podcast for February 24, 2025. President Donald Trump has signed an executive order in an effort to bring most independent agencies, including the FCC, under the supervision of the White House. Under the executive order, independent agencies must submit draft regulations to the White House for review, as well as consult with the White House on priorities and strategic plans. The White House will set their performance standards. In a White House fact sheet issued on the subject, it states that so-called independent agencies have exercised enormous power over the American people without presidential oversight, that these agencies issue rules and regulations that cost billions and implicate some of the most controversial policy matters, spend tax dollars, and set priorities without review of the democratically elected president. In a statement to the Voice of America, former FCC Chairman Tom Wheeler said that the change would make an independent agency that was created to be independent like an agency of the executive branch. Clinton-era Chairman Reed Hundt told VOA, for 90 years, the governmental idea was that the president should not be regulating the media. In a statement to VOA, current Commissioner Ana Gomez stated, quote, "Our informed decision-making is meant to be consistent with our technical expertise, not subject to political pressure." She further stated, efforts to expand executive influence on the FCC will only further diminish our standing as a stable, independent, and expert-driven regulatory body. Speaking to the New York Times, Peter L. Strauss, professor emeritus of law at Columbia University, stated that there should be no legal controversy over the order's requirement that independent agencies consult with the White House over their regulatory plans. However, in other aspects that suggest that the president views himself as having power to direct agency actions equivalent to military orders as commander-in-chief, even if Congress has said otherwise, crosses a line in what has been long considered a mainstream understanding of the Constitution. The FCC's Rip and Replace program is the result of the Secure and Trusted Networks Act of 2019. This law directed the Commission to establish a reimbursement program, which became commonly known as Rip and Replace. The intention of the Rip and Replace program was for telecom providers to remove network equipment provided by Huawei Technologies Company and ZTE Corporation. Huawei and ZTE are Chinese companies that the Commission had previously determined to have ties to the Chinese Communist Party and therefore a national security threat. The legislation appropriated $1.9 billion to the Commission to carry out the program. When the Wireless Competition Bureau approved applications to participate in the reimbursement program in 2022, the demand for the program exceeded the available funding, resulting in recipients receiving only 39.5% of their approved allocation amounts. WCB further states that many recipients of the funding have indicated that they may need to shut down portions or all of their networks due to the lack of funding. In October, over 70% of recipients indicated that lack of full funding has been an obstacle to completing the removal, replacement, and disposal of the covered communications equipment. In December, Congress passed the Spectrum and Secure Technology and Innovation Act, which was part of the National Defense Authorization Act for fiscal year 2025. The NDAA legislation instructed the Commission to borrow additional program funds from the Treasury Department. Once the funding has been approved, WCB and the Office of Managing Director will release a public notice to announce when the additional funding will be available for distribution. On Friday, WCB issued a public notice to remind telecoms to continue the replacement process, provides additional information on filing for extensions to the compliance deadline, and will extend support that is currently just the Fund Administrator Help Desk to also include the direct communication with WCB for matters of more significance or general impact on the program. The video division has reached a consent decree with Senda Educational Broadcasting, licensee of low-power TV station WVQS-LD, Isabel Segunda, Puerto Rico. WVQS was previously licensed on Channel 50. Due to the TV repack that reduced the number of TV channels, WVQS filed a displacement application to move to Channel 14. Because Channel 14 is in the spectrum 470 to 476 megahertz, it is directly adjacent to the land mobile band, and as a result, stations seeking to operate on Channel 14 must provide a showing that the station had taken steps before construction to identify potential interference to normal land mobile operation that could result in TV emissions outside the authorized channel, land mobile receive descents, or intermodulation. Without that, program tests may not begin. The station completed their construction and filed a license to cover application in July 2021. Without this showing, staff requested an amendment to the application to make the showing. The exhibit filed was insufficient. Despite that, the station did commence operation in July 2021. In October 2024, while the license to cover application was still pending, staff asked Senda to amend the application again with an appropriate exhibit to show no interference, which it did. Senda also filed for a special temporary authority to operate during the pendency of this proceeding. As such, the agency found that Senda's operation of the Channel 14 facility prior to receiving program test authority constituted unauthorized operation. Based on the facts in the case, Senda engaged in unauthorized operation for 3 years. As a part of the consent decree, Senda will establish a compliance program and will make a $4,500 civil penalty payment to the U.S. Treasury. The February open meeting of the Federal Communications Commission will be this Thursday, February 27, 2025, at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. On the agenda is an NPRM to update the auction procedures for Advanced Wireless Services AWS-3 spectrum, a notice of inquiry regarding freeing up spectrum in the upper C-band, expanding call blocking to avert robocalls, and an NPRM to review the rules that implemented the Commercial Advertising Loudness Mitigation or CALM Act, which was originally in effect since 2012. To view the meeting live, go to fcc.gov/live. FCC Today, the podcast, is available through Podbean and at many places where you get podcasts. It's also available at the Michelle Bradley YouTube channel. If you are listening there, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. For assistance with anything FM, please contact REC Networks at 202-621-2355. This has been a production of REC Networks, a leading advocate for a diverse dial. I'm Michelle Bradley, SBE certified broadcast technologist. Thank you for listening.